Let's get
Baseline.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Come on. And we back.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Come
yeah.
on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come
Yeah.
on. Thanks for tuning in. Cause this the Porch Podcast. So come on. So this the Porch Podcast. Yup. So this the Porch Podcast. So come on. Yup. So this the Porch Podcast. Come on.
It's the Porch Podcast. We recording
Right.
again. Influential is the illest, but the flow, my friend. Cut
Right.
dice, be the squad. Y'all remember that. I'm right here putting treasure on the map.
Yes.
And I'm flowing through my words, and I do it for the herd.
Come on.
Remember that? I'm smoking on the herb.
Talking.
I could pee in a cup, but guess
Oh,
what?
shit.
I'm a pass. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Y'all know that I'm the illest right here.
Yeah.
Influential, the illest. It's clear.
Right.
Look at all those cheers.
Right. Come on.
Go for the stairs.
Why?
Cause it's the Porch Podcast. Come on, huh?
Yep.
And it's the Porch Podcast. Right? And it's the Porch Podcast. Come on. What? And it's the Porch Podcast. Let's go. 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 Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother.
Oh man, P original baby. We back, baby.
We back. Hey, P, that one right there, that was a little funny. That was,
That was great. That was a episode
36.
36, baby.
36,
Let's go,
and we
let's go,
call
let's
this
go.
Imagine That. Imagine. Remember, that used to be the R. Kelly joint.
Yeah,
That was R. Kelly song.
That's how we start this
Yeah,
shit
this
off.
used to
Okay,
be
right
R. Kelly
there.
joint. And speaking of R. Kelly, this is off subject. I'm just saying, because Imagine That. Before we get into it, you know he might be facing a decade in prison right now. A decade. Just real quick, how do you feel about that before we really go into this?
You know what, man? It's one of those things where, however that's supposed to go,
right?
it's gonna go. I try not to, take it personal. Even
Right.
though some things be a little bit more difficult to not have a personal opinion about.
Absolutely.
Whatever comes to be to that, hopefully the brother survives and his life can heal or the people that was involved in that situation can find, I guess restitution and the justice or whatever it plays out.
Peace, things of that nature.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And move on with their lives. But I think it was just a messed up dynamic and messed up situation, period. And
Well, you know
that.
what I say about all those type of things.
Yeah.
If he's innocent, if it's all a lie,
right.
I hope it goes the right way for him.
Right.
But if he's guilty, then fuck him.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that.
Yeah.
Like, I know I gave y'all the political shit first, but really,
Yeah,
I mean, there's a part of me like, I don't have a different line of respect for wrong or ill shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I try to take the approach now to minimize as much as possible the personal feelings that go in it. But I'm like you. I guess I agree to some degree that however it plays out, if he was wrongfully accused, then and he's acquitted of all the charges and all that shit and we'll have it go.
Right.
Cool. But if not and you did it, you're gonna be paying that price on your own, bro. That's some crazy shit.
This a new off top. From now on, the studio, I got to keep Q-tips. Your ear don't be itching sometimes.
No, because I wash my shit. It's probably
Here we go with the bullshit.
no, brother. What you think they making it is? What you think, it's a good idea in that bitch buzzing or something like
Nah,
that?
I wash my ear. I'm just saying, you saying I don't wash mine because my shit itch. Headphones actually start to, do the vibration and loosen up shit sometimes. And I wear a lot of headphones.
What would it be loosening up?
Wax, but I clean my shit every night.
That's cool.
I do. That's what I said. I use keep Q-tips. And some people just get extra wax in the ear.
Right.
Like Petey.
Right. Man, you miss the shit out of Petey, don't you, man?
Yeah, I do.
That bitch.
I do. I miss Petey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, Petey, wherever you are, man. Hey, E misses you, man. And I wouldn't mind seeing you, but damn, man. Yo, E been looking for Petey for a while. I think that, I was thinking about what we was talking about in the previous episode about him and where he could be. I want to say this about Petey. I think he took the right road.
Right.
I want to say, maybe that's just wishful thinking. I think the brother Petey took the right road. What's his name?
I believe he did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the topic of this
Petey might be an
episode,
attorney somewhere.
He might be, but the topic of this episode, imagine that.
Right.
I imagine that he's somewhere being successful.
I agree, but if he's an attorney, attorneys. This is just my opinion. Yeah,
careful. You might need
I
a
ain't
damn
gonna say no
lawyer
names. I
one
ain't gonna
day.
say no names, but
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Oh, you ain't gonna say no names this time?
Statistically,
New shit.
Statistically,
Yeah.
do powder.
Right there. Right there. Right there. At least you consistent, man.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Statistically, they do powder.
What about DJs?
Well, DJs, they listen. I can tell you everybody's vexed. DJs, it's Earth Angel.
Okay.
Yeah, they do Earth. They do a lot of Earth Angel.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's it?
I don't know. I know about this DJ. I don't know about other DJs. Earth Angels.
You done been around a lot of booths, man.
Most of them do Earth Angel.
Okay.
They drink. I'm
Okay.
just being honest.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a lot of them too. A lot of DJs, honestly, man, they get on a big health kick because they put in a lot of late hours and long hours.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them, who does it straight for a living,
Mm-hmm.
they might be on that. If they know they work at night, they working 10 to 3 in the club at night.
Mm-hmm.
They get up by noon. They done they ate a
They
good
ready
breakfast
again.
and they in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the gym a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They work out. They keep themselves because
That's at the edge.
Yeah.
Most of the DJs I do see, they do be in decent shape.
yeah, it's some.
Maybe there's some truth in what you're saying.
Not because it starts off when you're young and you running and doing it. You're gonna get big because you eating late, you partying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you start to realize okay, I can't get up the same. Too much. It was too much, tequila last night or too much. So a lot of them, but I don't really in the booth.
So this is the choice?
Yeah, for most DJs, but I be chilling.
Earth Angel?
I be chilling. A lot of time I got water in the booth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hell yeah, because I got to get up and do stuff in the next day.
The Earth
You know what I
Angel.
mean? Listen, everybody, we're gonna do this right here. We're gonna go on the P original right there. Y'all can see his cup. You know what I mean?
Cut my laugh shit short and everything.
Yeah, Earth Angel
This is our choice
of drinks. For the people that's listening.
of fuel.
We that never gets to see our beautiful face. Please tune into the Porch podcast on YouTube.
I told
On
y'all
YouTube.
before, I don't do that beautiful shit. That's for women, man.
Yeah.
We handsome, E. You beautiful? You gonna be pretty next. That's why I said fix the shit that beautiful, bro.
Handsome
Handsome.
faces. Yeah.
I know Pop somewhere
Handsome
like
faces.
I
Nah,
know-
I slipped up. You know what I mean? But today's episode, man, imagine that.
Let's get to it once again. Welcome back, y'all. Episode 36, man, of the Porch Podcast. Imagine that.
I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff that most podcasts may not actually go to and talk about. Hopefully you enjoy our content and what we bring all the time. But a lot of times what me and P do, what we actually do is we don't know what we're gonna talk about until we sit down to push record.
Absolutely. That's true.
That's something that a lot of times we don't really, I'm putting that gem out there because we want the show to be as authentic as possible. So on the porch, okay, because that's the name of the show, as y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
If you grew up sitting on the porches, you ain't never leave the porch one day and say, yo, tomorrow when you come back on the porch, we going to talk about this shit right here. You never did that.
Nah.
So in an authentic way, we sit down and we have conversations and converse about what's really on our mind at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So today would imagine that, you know what I mean? When I told P, it came from a place that I was watching right now. One of my favorite songs is Rare by Nas, right? Right, and that King Disease too, you know what I mean?
Great album. If y'all
album.
didn't check it out yet, check it out.
Yeah, right, hip hop, you know what I mean? And he has a video for it. So I was watching the video
Okay.
and he was like, I think he made the statement like a man without imagination, something like a man with no imagination, basically in so many words is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say imagine that, you know what I mean? We started, all of us as kids had this big imagination and knew what we probably wanted to be.
Absolutely. I agree.
Like we had a dream of what we wanted to be or what we was trying to grow into. Do you remember what you wanted to be? Like, it's not always one thing either. A lot of times it's multiple things because you go through growth. But do you have any?
I think that when I was a kid, what we talking? We talking kid, like high school age?
It could be whatever one you choose. Because whatever one you think.
Okay, so the recollection that I have of just, being a child, I got to pick it up in high school for me. I don't really remember.
Yeah, because you old as shit. You kind of don't remember back past that.
Yeah, I would not, hey.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I can't take away from the fact that my shit don't go back that far. You know what I mean? But what I was going to say was, I know I wanted to deal with architecture. There was a part of me that you remember, E, wanting to draw and do those things. So that was a big thing for me. I didn't know what an architect did until, I started taking like mechanical drawing and stuff.
Right.
In Trenton High.
I had CAD. Did they have CAD when you was there?
Not at Trenton High. I got it later. I did go to like Mercer County. Like took some classes there. They had CAD.
Yeah, because I was a little behind you. So, and terms and grades and years.
Yeah.
By the time you left, they did have the CAD class in Trenton High.
Yeah, I never was fortunate enough. Like I had mechanical drawing.
Yeah.
And I think that I wanted to be an architect, but
Mr. Parker was the teacher. Matter of fact, who ended up becoming the principal at one time.
My teacher was, and I believe it was his brother that might have ran for something in office. Gosh, it'll come to me at another point in time.
Your teeth?
You know what I mean? I really need a flosser. I got something in there.
No, you can't fix that. You talking about?
I need a flosser.
You talking about Dop's got an attitude?
Yeah.
But he got an attitude. Did you just suck your teeth, man?
E, if you want to try to compare that to being pretty, man, go for it, man. If I had a flosser, I wouldn't have sucked my teeth.
Nah,
you claim to be pretty 2 weeks in a row.
Nothing to do with something in your teeth. Yeah. You forgot somebody's name and said, "What was his name?" That's how you did it.
Yeah, I try to use that. to my advantage.
That's that bullshit. He can't, ladies and gentlemen, he can't even hide it. Peace off the hook. Oh, man. Yeah,
I know some shit gonna be in the comments about that.
so right. you remember the teacher, man?
No. His name was is Mr. Plummerrod.
Mr. Plummerrod. Don't memory.
And I think his brother, somebody was running for sheriff.
Yeah.
I want to say his name was Mr. Plummerrod.
I think he was running. His name was Plummerrod too, running for sheriff.
That's how I found out it was his brother.
I used to quickly look at the sign. I ain't gonna lie. I admit this. I thought, somebody named Paul Mary running. I never really looked at it, but it's Plummerrod. You're right.
Yeah.
It was an I at the
end. Word is mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I ain't making that's some real shit. You know what I mean? I just really because I remember his brother running for sheriff. I believe.
Right.
So anyway, that was my thing. I thought that I was going to be an architect. Anything before that, I think it probably was pretty common. I'm being the NFL or some craziness or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, that was my most, that was like my strongest recollection. That's my imagination.
That's where your imagination took you.
Yeah.
I must say, for my love of basketball as a kid, I used to say I'm going to the NBA. I used to always say that. At that time,
using that long line.
Yeah, that long line. And everybody, that was. I realized at that time that I was thinking like a not normal, but thinking like most common people think.
Yeah, common thought, right?
Yeah, common thought.
Mm-hmm.
I love sports. It was a time I remember being a kid that I knew every player's name once they popped up on the TV, who they played for.
Mm-hmm.
It got bad once, that's such and such. He averaged 19 points a game. He played for the Pistons. Like, I knew everybody.
Yeah.
I followed people through their college careers.
I was going to say, you got deep. You was at the college level with it and everything.
I knew, that was a time, but I was really like that for basketball, heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I remember.
And then, as you get older, you start to realize that, how far-fetched that is. But
later. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that your imagination stops.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
So we do realize as we get older about manifesting things and how our imagination
absolutely
takes us to a different level. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm bringing all this, how it all comes around that somewhere I wanted to be on TV.
Okay.
I remember in junior high when they wanted us to pick an elective. I had put radio, TV, and film going into Trent High, and then I scratched it off because I'm like, I'm the only one that picked it. Like young boy, not thinking, not had my own mind, but like they might think this shit corny. You get what I'm saying? Because you go through those stages at times.
Where you do value the opinion of your peers.
Yeah, right. So I still ended up later on radio, TV, and film. Next thing you know, I was DJing, doing all the different things. And I say all that to say, you made this decision to do this podcast. It was a thought.
Absolutely.
That came
because I had never experienced it.
Yeah, during the pandemic. But your imagination is what led it to be where it is today and how big it is. And how, our imaginations intertwining and growing into that.
Absolutely.
It's what made it so big. So could you imagine, and it's funny that I used that, imagine that you never had an imagination. Where do you think you would be?
It'd be tough, man, because...
Where do you think you... Because you would just be too much... Like, a man that doesn't have an imagination in so many words kind of just always goes with the flow.
Yeah.
So if you... Because imagination breeds plans.
Right.
Right? So when you breed a plan, it's like you're writing a... It's like you're writing a... whether it's like last week, family business, a business plan.
A business plan, script.
A script. A map.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
So just imagine if you went off your emotions for everything because you didn't have an imagination.
Yeah, mine's is actually it's crazy. All right, so to answer that, it's like this for me. The last part of what you just said in terms of if you didn't have a plan or some kind of thought that goes into like how you respond or do things. Well, actually, for me, I had to learn to get better at that. Okay. Because I was, I would say 90% reactionary, 10%, thought in it.
Right.
So what I had to learn how to do was I had to be better in my planning of it. So and everybody does this. You know how many times I've had a conversation and I'm not talking to myself internally and psychologically in my mind. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to say this and they're going to say that. Whether it's at home with the wife, with the kids, with you or anyone else.
Right.
If we have that kind of bonding relationship, it's different, right? Because I can almost say if I'm going to say this and E may say that, it's a little bit different. So you can kind of temper the emotional side of it, right?
Right.
You can kind of, so that when you do hear it, you've kind of already heard it in your mind and it's not as impactful. Right. Which is why, when you talk to somebody, let's just say it's a person on the phone trying to sell you something or something else going on, right? When that happens, you're kind of really not prepared for whatever they're going to be saying to you. So you come on the phone one of two ways. Either in combat mode, ready to be able to go to war.
Yeah.
Or you either come to here really having a serious question, but if they take it there, you're going to take it there too.
Right.
So just in alignment with the whole concept of an imagination. Imagination plays a role in so many just day-to-day regular responses and ways that you move in life. So if I didn't have an imagination, I just don't know if I would ever grow. I think that I would stay very stagnant in my position.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I just think that for me personally, now everybody, that response may be a little bit different. I think there's going to be some universal things in that, obviously.
Right.
But I do think that there's a part of it where you do get to the point where you look at it individually and say, it's my imagination, the reason why I haven't totally, given up or quit on certain things in life. Because that's just what I have, my imagination. Because
at the end of the day, for you to imagine, you're believing in something. You're believing in a dream or anything of that nature. So I think a lot of times, if people didn't have an imagination, they would actually really, 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 really become a product of whatever environment they were.
They would.
You know what I mean?
They would,
because they'll see themselves as nothing but that.
Yeah.
To touch base on what you were saying about how you became, you said 90%.
That's how I was until I learned how to value my imagination.
Right. Because you did that, and you always had imagination. However, let me say this the right way. I think what adjusted you and made you different was life.
Yeah.
What I mean by life is
the less control I had over it.
Right.
It kind of forced my my adaptation in that, for me to adapt to that situation.
I mean, we could be honest. So we had 9 to 5s, and I still had one. It was actually we got them young,
Right.
good ones,
Very good ones.
making
Very good
money,
ones. Yes,
doing what
absolutely.
we was doing, and both got married young.
Absolutely.
Mine didn't work out.
Right.
Okay, yours did. You kept going.
Excuse me.
So now your responsibilities and your understandings for a lot of things is different. You got to do for you and your whole family at home. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Me, on the other hand, once I went single and I was living on my own, even though I was in relationships and stuff like that, I was focused. I still had to mainly just focus on myself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So my imagination stayed big. I'm not saying that family clouds it. What I'm saying is responsibilities and knowing that what becomes more important may shift you away from it.
Yeah.
So when you had your kids and you have your wife, you like, well, I got to do this because I have them. I can't just. My imagination might say I'm gonna be a skydiver bitch with a parachute, but I can't do that because if it don't work out right, then they gonna be messed up. But as of recent, I realized how I put my energy into my 9 to 5 and things of that later. I got so adapted to doing that that I started losing my imagination.
Yeah.
I just started going with the flow. And let me make this clear, people. When I say go with the flow, that don't necessarily mean something bad is going to happen. You're just going with the flow of where life is taking you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't attract negative things because I don't put myself in a negative surrounding.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that negative things can't happen. 'Cause positive and negative things can happen to anybody.
Right.
But if you know they down there on the block selling drugs and people getting smacked for not being around there, what you gonna go down there for?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
I want to say something to add to that, though, if you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind, before I lose my thought on it.
Definitely, go ahead.
2 things. First and foremost, your imagination allows the bad things to happen and you to be able to survive from them, even in that thought.
Right.
Right? So, like, in your imagination, say, for instance, you went down there on that corner that you were talking about where somebody was out there hustling, doing what they was doing.
Right.
And in your mind, you went to jail for doing that. It existed in your mind. So maybe that experience psychologically will prevent you from, in all actuality, reality, from doing it. Maybe that deterrent, because your imagination was so strong that it allowed you to be able to see that before you actually experienced that. Right. Like, that's another valuable tool. And the second thing is I wanted to give you the definition. Y'all know that's what I do of the word imagination.
Definitely. We need that.
Okay, the faculty of imagining, or of forming mental images or concepts of what is not actual present to the senses.
Right.
So once again, the faculty of imagining or forming mental images or concepts of what is not actually present to the senses.
So it's safe to say, if I smell something a little off,
Okay.
somebody might have farted.
I mean, it's
Because
safe,
it's the senses.
It's safe to say that something smells.
Yeah, foul.
Foul to you.
Senses.
Yeah.
But if I could imagine, that might have came from out of somebody.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, even from that, like,
Or white only pies. Remember on Life? He smelled the pie.
Crazy, man.
No, he smelled the pie. And then he
smelled like good pie to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the line that he used. The line that he used. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
No, I think that just sticking with your smell concept.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a PhD clearly, so
Nah.
but I do know that that usually a foul smell could be a sign of disease, or a sign of something being wrong. Like,
Right.
like if a person.
See, that's how deep your imagination is. I like that though.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
'Cause it's not just it don't have to just be a fart.
Nah,
It don't have. You
Nah, it's
understand
like,
what I'm saying?
because like, even if you gotta think about it, even if you go to the dentist and they be like, okay,
Yeah.
something's not right.
Yeah.
You brush your teeth, but it's still some shit wrong in there.
You know that ties to heart disease as well.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like that foul odor that you're talking about. It even has even in the form that you were saying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a sign that something's not in the right perspective. But
You already know though. If it's too crazy, you know my theory.
yeah, that's
FOS.
Yeah,
Fresh off shit. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
blow right past it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Like, damn. Damn, you need to go to the bathroom, man.
Right. But understanding why the imagination is vital is because, like we talked about in the past, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to touch fire to know it burns. Like if your experience of fire is that it burnt you, and you tell me, I don't have to go up and touch it. Your experience should be able to tell me, right? So my imagination, right? If I imagine myself putting myself into a bad position, right? And I see the how can I say the negative effects that it can have,
right?
Then it's safe for me to say that my imagination probably saved my reality.
It's absolutely, and it just made me think because Mom used to be like, "Don't go over there and touch that. It's hot." And then she would go all the way to it. You touch that, it's hot. Next thing you go, you come back to me, just off her face, and you crying and shit. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna do that.
She would act the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like she'd act out you hearing it, disregarding it, getting burnt, and hurting. Which, so like she gave you a real life example of your imagination.
I can see it clearly in my mind.
She did it. Yeah. So what she was doing was that imagination that she had that it cut off for you, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't see the part where it's gonna hurt the shit up. She's like, all right, let me give you the real life look of what the shit gonna look like. Without, I remember that. That's real shit. Yeah, man. But I don't think that. I think it would be a lot more bad outcomes without imagination.
And with all that being said, and having the right imagination and the right mind frame, it kind of leads to good, business mind states and business opportunities.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like the business you was speaking on. We was talking about family business last week, and one particular one you was speaking about. Let us know about that one.
Oh, yeah. I was telling you about the full service event planning company. For front and center events. You know what I mean? I know that we talk about a lot of different, like I say all the time, small businesses. But we got to support them. And like I said, you're looking for professionals. Right. We talked about a family business last week. It's about being able to find people who are dedicated to make things, a reality for you as comfortable as possible.
Right.
And that's just happened to be one of the companies here. So, I had a little something that was here that I wanted you guys to be able to see from the actual owner. Check it out, y'all. All right, y'all, check it out. Front and Center Events is a full service, don't matter what the occasion is, event planning company. Look, man, we all like to have a good time. Sometimes the work that go into it seem easy, but trust me, it ain't nothing like having a professional get it done. So make sure y'all head on over there to www.fncevents.com and check it out, man. You wish you had done it sooner. All right, yo, let's get back to the show. Yeah, man. So like we were saying, I can't imagine, life without imagination, because like I said, since we talked about it, and we talk about him very often on our show, man, Petey, hell of an imagination.
Hell of imagination.
You know what I mean? Because what he was able to do is he understood, chances are I'm going to get fucked up doing this. It's a high level of probability that some asses is going to get chewed on and it's mine. But he didn't let it be a deterrent. So that's one of them times where even as strong as your imagination is, his passion was stronger.
Right.
And he continued to pursue it even though he knew what he was up against. And those to me are the people who take life by the hand or take it by the balls.
Right.
Like we say all the time, and move forward, man, and just be amazing and great in life.
Right.
And that's why we think as highly as we do of him. Like we crack jokes about it, but the reality of it, he got it early on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And his imagination allowed him to continue to work hard to be great in life. So I can't imagine, personally speaking, a world without imagination.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't think it'll work. You know what I mean?
Nah, not at all, man. Not at all. Yeah. So, I guess that was a great question on that situation.
Yeah.
Made me actually think back to when we first did our first podcast. I didn't even realize it was called a podcast. We was young. When I ripped your Reebok shirt.
You ripped my Reebok.
Let me go ahead and do it. And you stole my Nike bracelet.
That was.
Oh, damn, bracelet.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Woo! So you sucking your teeth and wearing bracelets?
Nah, that was your pretty ass bracelet. That's why you took it back and I didn't realize
but
it.
It was easy to fix that. It's easy for you to fix that.
I had a wristband.
It was easy for you to fix that.
No, it wasn't mine. It was yours.
Men wear bracelets.
Okay.
Good ones. Come
Yeah.
on.
I didn't call it a trinket or nothing.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Just it.
Or a bangle or no shit like that.
But you did suck your teeth. Can't get around that. I have proof.
Man,
I have proof.
What that got to do? I told you I need my flosser.
Grown men.
You called yourself pretty.
Yeah.
And tried to call me that shit in the process.
Floyd Mayweather used to call himself pretty too.
Hey, if Floyd was sitting in this bitch right now, I said, oh, you pretty. I'm not pretty. What you gonna say?
You ain't saying that to Floyd.
Listen, they ain't made the motherfucker I'm worried about, man. That bitch ain't been made
What
yet.
you try to use your chin
Then
for
it's
speed
a different podcast after that.
Yeah, because I ain't letting Floyd do no shit like that either. Like,
It's just a different fucking
I'm not gonna
podcast.
let him throw those shit. Oh, bitch,
I ain't gonna say nothing gangster, but I ain't gonna let nothing gangster happen to me neither.
Nah, listen. You can say what you want. This
Okay,
is
well, look,
podcast.
let's get back to the imagine that. Because all that shit is imagination,
Imagine
too. What?
he using your chin as a speed bag.
Can't. My shit don't even work that way. Like, let me see something. Hold on. Nope. That shit went
His shit go like this. Your shit be like this.
Nah. So you sit up here imagining my shit getting speed back?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I'm asking you. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't let
I don't have that imagination.
I wouldn't let that happen.
I don't have that because I'm trying to work on a new me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, brother, you got one hell of an imagination for you to say some shit like that. But that whole thing we was talking about seriously was like Petey and all of that, and
he had a strong imagination.
He did, and I admire him for allowing that to become a part of his reality.
Yeah. Bottom line, imagination takes you places.
It does.
It takes you places.
Yep, it does.
So if you want to be somewhere, just like everybody's been reading. I seen a post the other day that had me in tears and shit, and I got what it was saying. It said, man, I'm tired of manifesting. I'm about to just start stealing shit. Like, that killed me. Because, they say you can manifest anything you want.
That's true, though.
But you got to still take the action towards it, too.
That's the other part.
Imagination is tied to your action. Listen, words are used to describe things in different ways. We're saying imagination. Yep, right. Dr. Martin Luther King said a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So if you don't believe in nothing, and
he had a dream.
Right, and he had a dream because that was his imagination, right? The saying, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Also, in the Bible, faith without works
is dead.
Okay. So at the end of the day, we're saying all this, you have to believe. If you believe it, you can achieve it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Don't mean that you won't learn some other things along the way, but that's definitely possible.
Right. So things are going to come shooting at you in all different different angles when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's that simple.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's true. So brings me to my series of questions. We're gonna do this or that, and I like how we did it last week.
This is that. Listen, this is the theme music for this or that.
All right.
Welcome to another segment of This or That here on the Porch Podcast.
Yes, sir.
If you're ready, let's hear you say you're ready.
They ready, baby.
This shit sounds like we're getting ready to start telling them about all the basketball trades and NFL injuries and shit like that. Okay, let's get back to it.
So last week when I asked you, we had went through a series of speed round thing. I'm not going to do the speed round thing. I'm going to pick a couple, and I want you to be able to, give your answer and why.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to pick right up. I remember we left off at, would you rather owe money or owe a favor?
Whoa. Damn.
Man, that's why I said I didn't want to blow through that.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to blow through anything, but I don't want to rush through anything.
Damn.
I fixed that shit. Nah, I said, yeah. I don't want to rush through it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Toasting for blow.
So I'm going to reiterate the question again. Nah, get the fuck out of here. You can't get the toast and say the blow shit. All right, man. Here we go, man.
No bullshit. Let's go.
Would you rather owe money or owe a favor? My imagination is strong.
I don't like owing people shit. So I'm gonna just pay some money to them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't owe you. Just if we going back and forth, if the deal is you want me to pay you for something, it's because you a favor. That means you could try to make that anything you want.
Anything.
No, not with me. No.
It can be some shit like test this batch for me. Now you've done that before, though.
No. What's wrong with you? Test what batch? A soft batch of cookies? Bitch, I ain't never touched
All right, go with
what
that.
You talking about a blow batch?
Moving on to the next question,
Shit.
man. Coffee or tea?
I'm a coffee guy.
Okay. We ain't got to spend a lot of time with that. Would you rather be embarrassed or be afraid?
Embarrassed. I ain't gonna be afraid. Afraid. It ain't good to be scared. Our dreams are on the other side of fear.
Right.
We all get some.
But you know what, though? Fear ain't as bad as people think it is.
No.
Because fear keep your ass alive.
But it does. However,
but it do keep you stagnant at the same time sometimes, too.
Yeah, but when I say embarrassed, I get to pick, like, some people might be embarrassed if, they walk in a room and they trip and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be embarrassed, but I didn't mean to do it, man. It happened.
Okay. So we're going to go with that.
I don't want to be afraid to walk in the room, though.
I got you.
See what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
But they all have their purpose. They have their times.
No, I think if I was being asked that same question, I probably would have went with the embarrassment element of it.
Right.
Because, fear is crippling. That shit'll keep you from moving left, right. It'll keep you from moving out of the way or something.
That shit had you on a real Contra code.
Yeah. Who?
Up, down, left, right.
Oh, Contra, the game.
Yeah, Contra code.
I know. What did you killed my shit just now? All right,
Start off talking about contrabands.
I didn't know what you got me, bro. You got me. City or
ready
countryside?
Cash in that favor and test that powder?
Nah.
Okay. They might want you.
Fuck you do. I'm the one who drive you back home for after them favors that you. Me and what's the name even now? Told him I'm gonna need that. Told him I'm gonna need an ounce of that shit. A+. It's A+. Batch. A+. All right. City or countryside, man? What are you doing there, first off? Damn, I don't even...
What do you mean? What am I doing?
City or countryside? Like, next little me, I need a little more to. All right, okay, all right.
Yeah, please.
All right, you're a photographer, right? You're not. But if you were a photographer, would you rather be taking pictures city or the countryside?
For this particular shoot, or is this is where my office is stationed?
No, for a shoot. For a shoot.
It all depends on what that person's vision is as well.
No, it's you. You're just that. You're a photographer. It's freelance.
I'm just taking freelance.
You out there, yeah.
I'm gonna do city.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do city. Country, you can get some beautiful shots in the country too. Mm-hmm. But I think what actually is going to push more of the countryside is if the animals are cooperating.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm taking the pictures like, out shooting towards the farm or whatever, or actually towards mountains or whatever like that.
Right.
I want a nice bird swooping in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or something like that.
Okay.
But with the city, just the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Just the skyline of the buildings are beautiful. You know what I mean?
Cool. So I'm going to give you, we're going to do 2 more? You good with that? You got time, right?
Yeah. Shit.
My man. All right, let's go with it. Smartphone or tablet?
Smartphone.
I'm like that too, but it depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, we know that much. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this is yours. All right, so smartphone. All right, last one. Wine or beer?
Out of the two?
This or that. Wine or beer, buddy?
Okay. What kind of wine? Not flavor. What kind of beer? Is it white?
Your
or
favorite
red?
kind of wine and your favorite beer. Which one between the two?
Give me the wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me the wine. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Now, I agree with that, but I think that it depends on the setting. Right?
Yeah, but if I had to choose one of them.
Okay, let me create a setting.
Go ahead.
Wedding reception.
Why?
Cookout.
Why?
Super Bowl party.
Beer.
Okay, so it depends more on the setting. Right. Got you. That was this week's round. You go ahead and hit the thing. of this or that.
Ain't this week's round. I ain't asked you shit yet.
Oh, I thought you enjoyed being asked the question. You can ask me. You want this? Nah, I'm just saying.
Adidas or Nike?
I'm a Nike guy. Nike.
Lean forward.
I am leaning forward. I can't lean forward.
I'm saying, look down. That's an Adidas hat you got on, bitch. You a Nike guy.
Yeah.
Neither one of them give you a check right now.
Fruit of the Loom or Gildens?
Yeah. I got on fruits right now. Fruit of the Looms.
All right. Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Your Fruit of the Loom?
Yeah.
Are you saying that because that's what you got on?
Yeah. Spalding.
All right. You wearing draws this week, which is impressive within itself.
Spalding.
It's a free baller.
Oh, no. Here we go. I got something better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, Stride Right or Favors?
Oh, what? She's Favors, man.
McCrory's or Woolworth?
Woolworth.
Yeah.
Woolworth.
Silo or Wiz? Nobody beats the Wiz.
Wiz.
Remember Silo though?
I do.
Yeah.
I remember Silo. I remember that. Yeah, man. Go ahead. You got any more?
Okay, we not talking about wings.
Okay.
Shrimp. Okay. I think he had it too. Buds
Okay.
or TJ Wishbone?
Buds.
Buds for everything.
Yeah. We're going to make that one easy. Buds. I got to say this too. Shout out to Al, man. Like, thanks for, man, inviting me to that cookout, brother. That piece of fish I ate over there.
Brother Al?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When you had that?
Yeah. At the cookout not too long ago.
Oh, it was great, huh? Fried or grilled?
It was fried right there. Yeah. Right there. He had a single eye burner right there in front of him. Shit, the only way you can get close is if you got in the grease yourself.
Yeah. You know what?
Slamming.
Yeah.
I hadn't eaten some hot sauce in a while. I had a little bit, a couple hits of the hot sauce. Hits.
Yeah. Of the hot sauce.
Mm-hmm. You know what I meant, though.
Yeah.
It was Louisiana.
So you got the hits of the hot sauce from Louisiana.
You want me to be a junkie like you?
So that's
bad, man.
boat juice. That's what that is. No, you can't get past me on that one.
Nah, ain't no boat juice. There was at least 4 or 5 police officers there, man.
Yeah, listen.
I guarantee you when the boat juice.
No. I'm just saying. I'm not talking about the hot sauce at Al's house. We know that was Louisiana.
That's what I'm saying.
Hot sauce.
I don't know what else you're talking about. I think that you just want me to be a part of it.
Come on, can you knock me from my imagination?
No.
This is what I'm saying.
No.
Everybody, man.
I just thank God, man, that your imagination is just that.
Yeah, it's just our imagination. That's what I'm going to say. Listen, I am a silly human being. I make a lot of jokes, and it keep me going. It's my imagination that keeps me thriving.
I think that, like you said, man, and you know, like you said, trying to imagine a world without the ability to just like, bruh, everybody who is watching or listening to this podcast has imagined some things in life that even made them go, oh, that shit'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a part of you that falls a little bit guilty because you almost still want to see it.
You want to see it.
And like, that's some crazy, like, what do you call that? Like, all right, let me ask you that question. What do you call having the ability to have the imagination, see some ill shit, go, damn, that's crazy? What is that feeling that still like lingers in you that kind of be like, I think I might still want to see it though?
It's your humorous side. No,
that?
I'm not even gonna say humorous because everything ain't funny.
Right.
It's just you being intrigued. You gotta realize, imagination starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind.
Right.
So to be intrigued, it starts here, right?
Right.
So if you're imagining something and you like, what if he did this? But what if he did that? That's how you be.
Yeah.
You like DK used to say that, like, yo, don't. I remember I was doing something under the hood of my car, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to DK. He was like,
shout out to bruh.
He was like,
DK.
Hey man, my imagination just be weird. I be having I just kind of like want to just slam the hood on your head and see. Yeah, I'm like, yo, wait, what, bitch? Like, hold on, did you? I'm like, hold on. I just sit back up for a minute. Boom. What you doing, bro? I'll fix this shit later when you ain't around.
I don't
even need you to do this shit right here.
Like, what is that, though,
what is wrong? He like, bro, I ain't going to do that. Man. I don't know. You just told me what you was imagining.
Yeah, I have zero, like, trust in you. Right?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's a part of you that's trying to disconnect, right? The imagination part of it from the wish part.
Now,
there's a part of you be like, are you fucking wishing?
Now, here's the
thing. Or hoping that you
right.
or would you like to do that?
Because here's the thing.
Well,
you know how they be having memories and stuff on Facebook. So, a memory came up. It was me, DK, and Chad. Shout out to Chad.
Mm-hmm.
We was coming from somewhere.
Right.
And I remember that night when I see it, DK was asleep in the passenger seat. Mm-hmm. And I really just wanted to hit him like while he was asleep.
Mm-hmm. You hear this thing? Go ahead.
Right? No. Mm-hmm. So I just came midways. If you see the video, I was doing this to him.
Damn, you was baby sneaking him?
Yeah, I was baby like tapping him in his face like. Mm-hmm. And then Chad with no better, he was like, go ahead, slap him again, like pop, 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 pop. Yo, you heard me, yo? He like, yeah, I'm up. That shit. But I really wanted to smack the shit out of him. Like,
what is that?
I don't know.
Like, we human, right? But leave that in the comments, y'all. Like, you know, I mean, leave that in the what is that? Like, what is you guys, and for those who are actually listening to it, you know what I mean? And like we say all the time in Radio Land, who don't get a chance to check it out necessarily on YouTube, you know, if text us, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do it. However you can leave a message, you know, on Facebook, on Instagram, on our chat. Like, I really would like to know, since this whole episode 36 has been about, imagine that. We're not going to deviate away from including, right? The ill shit that people think too.
Right, you can't.
Like,
because it's part of your imagination.
Right. Like, you know, we even, bro, you know what's so funny? Like, you can have the imagination, right? Something happens. Your child runs in the house and say, Mommy, Daddy, the neighbor said, you know, I better get the hell out of here. They said it to who?
Yeah.
They said it to you. And you pump yourself in your mind before you can get your flip-flops and shit. Because you like, bitch, I got to get over there quick and straighten this shit out. Right. Before you get over there, you imagining them not being civil. Right. You imagining the energy being fucked up when you get over there. You like, when I get over there, if Bobby Joe say something I don't like, I'm going to punch the dog shit out of Bobby Joe. Because I think that bitch stole my check one time anyway, and I owe about 2-3 ass whoopings. I'm cashing in today. Like, that's the shit you be thinking, right? And you get over that bitch, you knock on the door, and Bobby Joe don't even answer the door.
You ever...
And the other person doing, you be like, yo, you somebody saying some slick shit to my son? And they be like, I don't know what you mean, what's going on? And they go to explain it. You got to, at that point, turn down your imagination. That's hard. That's not easy.
Right.
That's why I need y'all to do.
Because you already had it on 10. You already had the shit revved up.
You had the wrong, like, your whole outfit looked like I want to fight. Like, you know, somebody come to your door and it's come on, y'all. It's Amazon. They put the package of shit down. Yeah. You see them like, Amazon, that's cool. Yeah. If somebody trying to sell you solar panels and shit, they look a little bit different. Yeah. The neighbor that come by, first off, we don't even talk to each other. We wait from a distance. I don't fuck with you. I don't come over there. You don't come over here. I have cookouts. You're not invited. Vice versa. It's just not what's going on, right? So if you at my house, some shit's wrong. You ain't over this bitch because we cool. What? I got it. You ain't over this bitch because we cool. Yeah. So that's the point. Like, you know, my bad, y'all. I kind of dipped off the shit for a minute.
I'm going to just tie into that.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Have you ever got your imagination revved up for some shit and you, like, rehearsed it in the mirror?
Who? Every dumbass thing I ever did in my life. Not every, because ain't nobody 100%. Yeah. 97% of the shit I rehearsed it in my mind for that.
Nah, but I'd be bad. Bitch, yeah. I'm so bad, I'll be in the mirror. I'm going to work tomorrow and I'm going to tell them this. Listen, I need to know what's going on today at this moment.
Right here.
You ain't going to tell me right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Bitch, like, y'all have to figure something else out. And you get to the job.
And what happened?
The shit ain't even go like that. The shit ain't even go like that. How many times you did that?
Oh, shit. If I went to work 5 days a week, 5 days. You know what I mean? Every day. Yeah. Every day. Yeah, because I think what happens is that that imagination that you're talking about,
right,
that we don't ever remember signing for, but we have it anyway.
Yeah.
You can't turn that shit on and off.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, I sit in that mirror and say, if what's your name say something today, bitch, they better have their mouthpiece in right after they say it. Multiple conversations like that. Thank God I didn't have to act on a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only one. Leave it in the comments, y'all. Make sure y'all put that down there. Don't act like me and E the only two that done had this tripped out ass shit going on.
Hey, yo, I swear, yo, you really sit there and you rehearse.
Yeah.
How did you ever do it this way, though, P? You ever do it this way? You rehearse it calmly.
Right? Damn, my teeth.
It's okay. That one's different. That was different.
Because
you was drinking. Right. That was different. The other one, you sucked your teeth because you was upset.
About to say something else. We're not
couldn't
dealing with that
remember.
shit. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is,
right.
You sit there and say, you know what, I can't go in like that because I'm going to be too aggressive.
Yeah.
And you go in, I'm going to be calm. I'm just going there. I'm just talk to him. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out, what's the hold up on my promotion.
Yeah.
And by the time, either way it goes right. By the time they sit there, they say, well, we're working on it. Well, y'all need to work a little fucking harder, man. Shit getting out of hand now.
That's you in the bathroom in the mirror.
No. I'm saying I rehearse it calm.
Oh, okay. You doing the other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't went in calm.
Oh, and blow your top.
And blew my top.
Yeah.
But when I rehearse it, bitch, they gonna do something for me. I come out, yeah, okay, no, it's all right. We can work it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
That goes with the
that's when imagination meets reality.
Exactly. So it's safe to say that imagination, you know what I mean, before we get, we got a few minutes left, but before we close this episode, really ties to your emotions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Your emotional state definitely dictates your imagination.
Right.
When you thought you was going to the NBA, it was right after the 10, 9, 8, that shit that everybody who played a little bit of basketball outside practice and did it, you made the shot. Right. You was like, I could see me doing that in the league. Matter of fact, in your imagination, you was doing it to somebody in the league that was there present. Right. Not even factoring in, they'll be gone, bitch, old and everything by the time you get there. Yeah. That's the beauty of imagination.
Who you was shooting over every time?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, honestly, bruh, if I did, I say it, and I can't recall it.
I can't remember either. But why it often changes?
I think I was focusing on the make or miss. Yeah. It wasn't even the individual I was shooting over.
Because I feel like wasn't gonna be nobody in the league be able to stop me when I was.
So at that point, you could have put whoever you wanted to in that spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? No. What I will say this, y'all, like you said, E, with a couple of minutes still left in the episode. Listen, man, your imagination is priceless.
Right.
Right. You need it.
Right.
And I make jokes out of it, but the imagination I'm telling y'all about is really mine.
Yeah.
Like, it's really the shit I be thinking about. Like, I know I'm not the only person that has sat there and stood in front of a person and having a conversation.
Right.
And you just meet this person or whatever, and you saying to yourself, there's words that they don't even realize that can change the whole complexity of this conversation. Right. Not no ill shit. I'm going to jump on them, bust them up, nothing like that. It might be some shit like we talk about seriously, because your imagination, when it meets reality,
right,
you don't always know how that's going to really happen, because you can't dictate the other person's imagination.
Right. You don't know their response.
Or their response to it.
Yeah.
You kind of can do it with like a handful of people. Right. Maybe 5 to 10 people, because your love for one another is stronger than anything that could bring you to it getting too far gone.
Perfect example. When you pulled up at the studio today and you was like, yo, I got room. I was like, hold up, let me move the truck up.
Yeah.
You already imagined me doing that. You told me that.
I did.
I knew exactly
because first and foremost, it made sense.
Right.
And if I'm pulling, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I'm dealing with a logical, that's why I say that imagination sometimes is almost dictated to by whoever you're interacting with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you know that there's a person, whether it's in your work world, whether it's in, just your everyday life, your neighborhood, whatever, that they just an asshole. I'll give you an example of one real quick. Sunday, I'm at Neff party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, shout out to my nephew Tony, turned 13. I'm at his party at the crib. Now, apparently, he has a neighbor.
Right.
It's on the corner. And this guy feels like the grass, that all the grass pretty much he owns in life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as we're leaving, before we get ready to leave the house, he had an issue apparently before with sis. And then on top of that, earlier, he had an issue with Neff's father.
Right.
So as they're explaining the situation in the house, I don't know who they're talking about. Doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Has nothing to do with me. So I get ready to leave. As I'm leaving, you know, my wife is carrying out something, and she says to me, but she kind of looks down and like whispers it, like, "Don't walk on his grass." And now I'm like, "Who?" And then I look up and see the guy she's talking about. I'm not even gonna sit up here in front, y'all. There was a part of me, I imagine myself doing tucks. I can't even flip.
Just dive on this
You know what I mean?
grass.
Stomping. Bitch doing a belly flop, all kind of weird, wild shit on his grass.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that she had said it, and I felt like the negative energy that he was giving, that he had gave, you know, my people's already.
Yeah.
And now you got my wife to the point where she say that, and I'm looking like, in my mind, fuck his grass.
Yeah.
I walk in this grass, bitch, and he come over here, we'll tear this grass up. But that's something that I have to work on. But the point that I'm saying in that situation with the imagination element of it, I controlled that.
That's like, you know, back in my...
I didn't walk, to answer this and conclude that situation, I didn't walk on it. Yeah. I walked around, you know, because, you know, my wife asked me to. But
that's growth.
My imagination was wrong.
That's also growth. Mm-hmm. Because I can go back in a time we were all hanging out. I was young, 20s. Mm-hmm. Little, you know, and it was a time that my wild was a different type of wild. I wasn't crazy wild, but I ain't like dumb shit. So I remember one time we was all hanging out at our boy crib, and it was a girl over there, and she had bought some wings. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, you being real disrespectful, like,
word.
Yeah, like, you know, you might want to. He almost gonna send you home, tell you to leave. Like, I'm talking because he trying to be, He ain't gonna tell me to leave because I bought them wings in there. So now I'm hot because it's like, man, you say about a little 35 piece you bought in there, bitch. Fuck them wings. I'll piss on them wings. You ain't gonna do that. Remember, I walked in the room.
I recall.
I took the pan and threw it on the ground.
I recall.
Start going for my zipper.
Yeah.
They said, get it. And Mun tackled me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, pick up the wings. Man, come on, man. Come on. Like, man, she ain't gonna sit here and say the dumb shit like that. Yeah. I piss on them and buy a double order of them.
Yeah, how about that?
A double order.
That was more of a reactionary thing. But in my mind, and everybody else who was there, you pissed on them.
You seen me piss on them.
That's why I was like, get him. Because they imagined this. Bro, that shit was getting ready to become a reality. It was getting ready to become a reality. Because some people act on those things.
But what I'm saying is, it relates to...
Yeah.
That was... Because it comes with growth. That was you... If you was in your 20s and say don't walk in this grass, that tuck flip, you might have tuck flipped, did a cartwheel, break dance all over the dude grass.
And the sad part about it, and I can speak about it on me, is that really all that man probably, I don't know him personally, and he still may have a negative, nasty way about doing it, which that needs to be something that he needs to personally work on, in my opinion.
Right.
If I'm looking at my grass and there's somebody who's blatantly just trying to walk across it and do negative things, I'm going to say something. Right? Mm-hmm. Where I was parked at was in the street with a curb. So literally, I mean, we're talking maybe, you know, whatever that is between the sidewalk and the edge of the curb. Yeah. I really man, like, and I promise y'all, I'm trying to get better every day. My biggest problem, and you can definitely attest to this before we get out of here, I was always somebody who learned most of my lessons the hard way. I learned most of the things I did.
You broke a lot of shit you shouldn't have
broke bones, you know what I mean? A lot of different things, because I had to become better at being reactionary. I thought beyond him. I didn't think in my imagination about that part about the conflict, because I was psychologically prepared for that. Mm-hmm. And physically had zero disregard for it. Right. With that being said, though, it was also my imagination that allowed me to be able to look at it from a peaceful perspective. Right. So it's vital. The point of the whole situation with the imagination. And like answering your question one final time, I couldn't imagine life without it. Right. And I'm glad, thank God I have that. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting better with it. But like anything else, man, a good imagination is only as good as the person who's thinking it. Right. And your reality is what means more than anything else. So make sure that your imagination doesn't, jeopardize your reality.
And like I said, a man without imagination pretty much is dead. But what I mean by that is this. Imagine that you are pulling out your mobile device. Mm-hmm. You're on either Apple Podcasts,
Stitcher,
Amazon Music,
iHeartRadio,
Google Podcasts,
Spotify,
Radio Public,
Overcast Radio.
And you're downloading
each and every week
the Porch Podcast.
Absolutely.
And if you want to see our handsome faces,
yes, sir,
you go to the Porch Podcast
at YouTube.com.
Which is DAPOR.
Talk about it.
CHPOD.
Yes, sir.
CAST.
Guy can spell.
That's it. And this has been episode 36.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Are you singing R. Kelly?
See y'all next week, man.
All right, y'all.
Peace.